Hey guys, Patrick Wind here and welcome to this training model in which we're going to ideate for new A/B tests. This is of course a very important model because this is actually the backbone of a successful prospecting strategy, and also for retargeting this really makes a difference to come up always with new A/B tests for your creatives, for your copies, and when it comes to prospecting, especially for audiences, because this is going to be the fundamental of your successful campaigns. So guys, let me show you how we do that. So in the first place, we generate ideas, for example, based on the strategic breakdown insights that we have just seen, or also during the weeks, during the days when we see our competitors, when we see some new ads going on, and we can always write down ideas. Or if you're alone, if you're driving on the car and thinking about our ads and we're coming up with new ideas, we can point them down, for example, or if we receive newsletters from the Facebook headquarters, they say lifestyle photos in a 4:5 format is a possibility when it comes to creatives, or including the logo of your company in the photos, or doing unpackaging of your products, which is something that a competitor did. When it comes to audiences, well, we can work with different micro moments, or we use the day part targeting. Especially day part targeting is good because it goes in line with what we've just seen in our breakdown analysis. We've seen that especially in the morning from 9 to 11, our sales are much higher than our spend. Then from 11 to 2 at night, we had a strong focus at night, where we also saw a shift, where we've also seen a spike in sales, even though our spend did not go up. And then also in the evening after work. So these are the micro moments that we have seen for this specific company, micro moments. So it would make a lot of sense to actually come up with an A/B test where we run specific ad sets at these points of time. So for example, we can have the hypothesis that ad sets, well, that micro moments get more sales, well, get higher ROAS than all day with daily budget. Okay, then we can of course test different things. One test could be from 9 to 11. Test B could be the one we had at night, so from 21 to 2. And test C would be all day. Okay, then I would also like to mention here somewhere, probably, let's make this one a bit longer, and also call this lifetime versus daily, because the first ones, where we want to show specific time days, parts of the day, has to be done with lifetime budgets, and the other one can be done with daily budget. Okay, and well, we want to see when the ROAS is the best, because that's what we've seen in our strategic analysis. So we focus on the analysis cost per purchase, or CAC, and we can, well, that's a test that we run on ad set level, and it's about budgets, lifetime versus daily. And we have we're gonna run this for 3 days. We have 3 options, and we can start, for example, on the 25th of July. Well, this way, 25th, chaos. So 25th. Okay, we can format that later. But from the 25th of July to the 25th, 26th, 27th, 28th of July. So 3 days, 3 options. We also wanted to be with 10 euros each ad set, because this is an ad set, that's an ad set, and that is an ad set, and this is then in total 90 euros. And it takes 3 days, and then we're gonna see if those micro moments actually perform better than the all day option. What other tests can we actually set up derived on the analysis that we have run? Because we want to come up with 5 to 10 ideas each week. I mean, here we got some ideas, but I also pointed down many other ideas from just analyzing my competitors, from walking through the world with open eyes, or through conversations with my colleagues and friends. Okay, so we actually have our ideas that we want to generate each week, and now we want to set up 2 to 5 tests for each week, right? And we want to prioritize. First, we want to focus on audiences, then creatives, then copies. So we have one that is already somehow focused on ad set level, and I really want to do one for audiences. So I go into the audiences ideas, and here what do we see? Well, we have a nice list here. We actually did the one with the micro moments. And let's also do one with the before weekend and after weekend. So we have one for the specific hours of the day, but now we can also set up one for the specific days of the week. So we would like to test if it makes a difference to show ads only on Friday, for example, or only on Sunday. So what if hypothesis ads just on Sunday afternoon work better than full day, for example. So then we can easily set that one up, and that's a test also similar to this one. Okay, and here one option is just Sunday afternoon. Here the other option is all day. Once again, we want to focus on the most important KPI, and here basically everything is the same besides the fact that it's just 2 options. Okay, now we already set up a second one, but now when it comes to audiences, I would also like to use the age groups, because we have learned in our analysis that especially the age groups between 25 and 44, they have worked the best. So my hypothesis is that focusing on men between 25 to 44 gets better ROAS than all ages. Okay. Now let's set it up. Test A is men 25 to 44. Test B is men 18 to 65 plus. Okay, so that's a very nice and very easy to understand A/B test. Okay, that's actually a very important one. So I would even do it 4 days. Let's do both of them just 10 euros. And this is more about age. Okay, and we focus here, well, on ROAS. So we've already set up 3 options. But what we know is we want to focus on audiences, but also creatives and copies. So let's see what are the ideas that we have gathered in the creative part here. Well, include logo in the photo. Okay, easy. So we could even copy this one and do this one just for 3 days. And here we test the creative logo. Images with logo get higher click-through rate than without. Okay, so with logo, without logo, and here we're not focusing on sales, but we're focusing on click-through rates. So that's good. Let's come up with one further idea when it comes to copies, for example. Copies in local languages. Okay, well, that's an idea. Okay, let's see. Probably copies with in the specific local language probably get better click-through rates than just in English. So copies language copies with country, well, copies in, let's put it like this, copies in German work better in Germany than just English ones. And then we test German versus English. And now we have to decide how we define the KPI. Let's say, for example, CPC, or we could even say cost per add to cart, which is better. And we focus on that. So guys, this was a very practical model, and we have actually derived 5 very nice A/B tests, okay, based on the strategic breakdown analysis that we have already realized in the previous video, but also based on the ideas that we have gathered throughout the week when it comes to audiences, creatives, and also copies. And all of these ideas we have now integrated in our A/B testing overview, in our A/B testing guideline. We set the specific start day, specific end day. We have a nice overview of the budget. Okay, so we can also see if we just want to do this little calculation here, that the testing all of these options will not cost us more than 350 euros in total, but we will get very good answers on very important questions. Okay, and now the good thing is, thanks to these identification numbers here, it's going to be very nicely structured when we come to our actual ad account, because on ad set level or an ad level, depending on what you're testing, you can simply include these numbers in the ad set name or ad name. You simply include it in the name, and then you can later on, if you search for them, you filter and you find them easily. But important for you to note is, for example, in this specific one, okay, where we do not only have 1 ad set, 2 ad sets, but rather 3 ad sets. Okay, so each of these 3 ad sets should have the name should have the number 009 in the name for each of those ad sets. Okay, so we'll have 3 ad sets that are called, for example, micro moment from 9 to 11, 009, micro moment from 23 to 2, 009, micro moment, well, all day, 009. If you then filter for 009, you will have 3 ad sets and you can compare them perfectly. The next one, the 0010, has just 2 options, so 2 ad sets. One you could call just Sunday afternoon, 0010. The other one is all day, 0010. And if you then filter for 0010, you will get those 2 ad sets and you can compare them perfectly in order to understand which one had better KPIs. And then you can write down the results here and point on your conclusion, and you will collect all the learnings in this wonderful guideline here. So guys, thank you very much for listening, and see you in the next videos. Goodbye.